welcome back. It's supposed to be snowing right now. I don't think it's going to happen, and it's actually not even cold enough to be snowing at the moment. But I seen something interesting. A lot of areas down south are getting snow right now, which is pretty incredible. But I just got done putting a bale of hay into the cows. It's a little bit on the muddy side, so in a way I'm kind of glad it's not snowing. I got one spot right here at the water troughs that is just an absolute disaster. And it's mainly our fault because when we're watering, we tend to forget that the water's on and water will overflow, and it doesn't take much water at all to overflow to make a muddy mess as wet as it is right now. Right before I got done putting that bale in there, I typically leave this gate open right here as I'm driving in and out. The cows never offer to come out of it. Well, I had one of those little calves sneak around behind the tractor, and before I could get over here to shut the gate, he had done run out into this little pen right here. Fortunately, this wire right here was up, and he kind of got bound up and wouldn't go no farther, and ended up going back in the gate. But yeah, for a second there, I was a little bit concerned that I was going to be chasing a calf around here this morning. But in the wintertime here, I only feed the cows like actual feed every evening, and then they keep hay all the time. Whereas in the summertime, when we have nice green grass, they only get feed like maybe 2-3 times a week. If even that, it just all depends on the grass situation. But man, let me tell you, right now, this time of year, we are rolling through some hay and some cow feed. But what I'm going to be working on today ain't got nothing to do with cows, ain't got nothing to do with none of this stuff. You see that? I got to replace this hydrant. Now there is an adjustment screw right there that allows you to adjust how far the handle goes down on this plunger, which would stop that leaking. However, I wrung off that adjustment screw the other day trying to adjust it, and that hydrant right there is probably a good 20-ish, 25 years old. So it's kind of time for it to be replaced anyways. What I'm gonna have to do is dig that out. I can't remember how far down the ground it is, honestly. I want to say it's about close to 2 or 3 feet, but I could be wrong. Before I get started, I want to open up this new one, just make sure everything looks right with it. This one, it actually came off Amazon, believe it or not. There we go. Well, it is made in China, but if I'm not mistaken, so is that one. And I bought that one locally. Here comes the fun part. Digging that one out. One thing I'm running into with this leaking is not only is it causing a monster mud hole here, like it don't always leak that bad. Like right now it's leaking the worst that I've seen it leak so far. But not only does it cause a monster mud hole, it also is freezing up on me. Now see, these are frost-free hydrants, and they will not freeze. Well, they're not supposed to freeze when they're working right. And where this one's got water constantly flowing through it, well, it's freezing up. But the way these hydrants work is when you turn that valve off, there's a drain down at the very bottom. It drains all the water back out of the hydrant, and so there's nothing up here to freeze. And then no matter the temperature, when you cut that hydrant on, water comes up out of it and it's not froze. bushes in the way.
Well, y'all, it's about lunchtime, and I'm gonna get some lunch thrown together. But before we do that, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Backwoods Home Magazine. Now, I just can't thank them enough for supporting what we do here on the channel, and I feel so blessed to be able to partner with somebody that values traditions and old-time skills and old-fashioned cooking and cooking from scratch and growing your own food, and the list goes on. I feel like we have a lot of the same goals in life, and like I said, I can't thank them enough for sponsoring today's video. And I'm going to be making a recipe out of the latest Backwoods Home Magazine. We're going to have us some tacos for lunch today. Now, we were watching Lino over at JT West this morning make some tortillas, and I said, boy, them look good. I believe I want some. Well, and at the same time, I was flipping through the newest edition of Backwoods Home Magazine, and they have a whole section in there on lard. Now, y'all know that I'm the queen of lard. I feel like, anyway. I make a lot of lard. I use lard in everything that I cook, and when I tell y'all these books go along like with what we do, they do. So, anyways, there are a lot of recipes in here using lard and how to cook down lard in this edition. And I happened to find a homemade tortillas recipe using lard. So that's what we're going to be making today for lunch, because I think that sounds fabulous. Now, you can also get a sister magazine, Self-Reliance magazine. If you can't get enough out of Backwoods Home, you can find even more here in Self-Reliance magazine. Recipes, how-to, lots of how-to things, gardening, raising livestock, the list just goes on. And if you go through our link, guys, you're going to get 50% off a year subscription. And again, we're so glad to be working with them and have them supporting us, hear what we do on the channel. So, but without further ado, I got to go down to my grocery store and grab some pork to put on our tacos. All right.
Well, I've got plumb down to the bottom here. So here's what we're looking at. You can see when I wiggle it there, that's the pipe coming off the main water line. The main water line is running like right under us into the house from the well. And I've got that over on a side pipe, and then it screws on to a fitting right down in there. All that's kind of hard to see where it's muddy. But I was looking, I was concerned that something else down here was leaking, because it just all of a sudden started getting wet. But what it's doing is running out that weep hole down there. And I guess that's because where the handle is not pushing that rod down in far enough to completely shut the water off. It's also got it like in a midpoint down there, and it's causing it to run out that weep hole. So, if I'm lucky, this will screw right off of that fitting down there, and I can just easily replace it. So, I just cut the water off at the power to the well. I'm going to cut it on and get the pressure off of it. I also cut the valve off in the house, so everything that's in the house won't drain backwards. Now, just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to try to twist it. I don't think it's going to come loose that easy. Oh my goodness, you know I'm not that lucky. You gotta be kidding. Holy cow, I can't believe it. I never, ever expected that. That's wild. I can't believe it. So down there's where this new one is going to screw back onto. I do need to rake away part of that mud and stuff so I can put some new pipe dope on there so it'll seal off. And we're going to do a quick comparison here. Now, I did know that this new one was shorter, so I'm not surprised by that. We need to get that plug out of there. It almost looks like that fitting's bigger than that one, but I don't know. It could be just the way it's made, making it look like that. But you see, there's your weep hole. So when you cut that valve off up there, all the water drains back down and comes out that weep hole. And technically what you're supposed to do, which is what we're going to do when we put this one back, is put gravel or some type of rock or something around that weep hole area so that it can drain freely and it doesn't get stopped up with mud. I did notice that it's mostly mud around this one, but once again, that thing's had to have been there for 20 years, and it's pretty impressive that it came loose that easy. That turned this into an easier job than I thought it was going to be. But I best not say nothing yet because we ain't done. All right. It should be enough. Let's pull the plug out. Let's see if she'll screw back on there. Oh, I'm gonna have to move that T-post. Let's just do this for now. Make sure I didn't cram anything up in the end. Look at that. Ain't that awful nice? You have to be kind of gentle with this because I don't want to break my fitting down there or the pipe. But I do want it turned the right way, which I believe that's it right there. Now we need to go turn the water on and see if it works.
Now, one of my favorite ways to use my canned pork is in tacos. These are something that I can throw together for a quick supper at night or a quick lunch like right now. And we're going to have a homegrown, homemade lunch probably here in about 20 minutes. Y'all, I couldn't run to town and grab me a bite to eat and get back home in that amount of time. Okay? So, let's get this done. So before I go to making my tortillas, I'm just going to get this in my cast iron pan and let it be browning up some. Now, it's already cooked, so technically all I'd really need to do is warm it up. So, but I like to get it a little brown, you know, with some little burnt ends on it. Do that. I'm also going to throw in a handful of frozen peppers just to give us some nice flavor here. And we're going to throw some of this right here on there. Thank you so much for sending me that. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. We're going to do a little sprinkle on that.
So the water is on right now. Currently, I don't see any leaks other than the water that was already down there. If we have water. Look at that. Does it shut off? Look right there. See the water draining back down? That's how it's supposed to do. And it gets all the water out of that piping so it doesn't freeze, and it drains it back down below your frost line. Amazing how much water's up in there, ain't it? Awesome, it works. So this one also has an adjustment for that plunger. It just adjusts differently than the one I had. Looks like you loosen that bolt and you can slide it up and down on that plunger right there. Are we leaking? And all the water pretty much quit draining out too. Okay, so I guess it's working like it's supposed to. And now it doesn't feel like any water's coming out up here. Good. Amazon come through on that one, didn't he? And as far as my T-post that holds it sturdy, I think I'm going to pull it back over and just drive it deeper into the ground, since this is a shorter hydrant. But I got a shorter hydrant intentionally because this is the hydrant that the kids are always using for anything, and like there's always a water hose hooked to it, and so people are dragging water hoses around in the yard. And I feel like that this one was just too tall and it was causing too much flex up here, and I was always nervous it was going to break the water line. So anyways, having a shorter hydrant will help with that situation, I hope anyways.
Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, there's been many times in my life that I have thoroughly struggled with tortillas. We're gonna see how this recipe does. Recipe don't let me down. We're gonna start off 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And if you're looking for the link to this, I'm going to put it in the comments and the description. But guys, you can also find it on our website if you're looking for that 50% off discount. Alright. Now, this recipe calls for a half a teaspoon of salt. Now, I found with this Redmond's real salt that I need to add a little more than what these recipes call for, just because the salt taste is not as strong in that Redmond's salt. So this calls for a half a teaspoon. I'll probably do like 3/4 of a teaspoon, just a little more. Alright. So I'm going to get those dry ingredients just mixed up. 1/4 a cup of lard. We're going to eyeball that though. 1/4 a cup ain't much. Let's see. Now it says that we're going to mix this in. We're going to cut in the lard, pretty much like we do biscuits, it sounds like. Cut in the lard till it's crumbly and coarse. So we can do that. Oh, I hope this works. I love homemade tortillas. I've got a sweet friend that made me some tortillas not long ago, and oh my gosh. It's like anything else. You just can't beat the homemade ones. This has just not ever been something that I'm great at. So, we're going to see if that's going to change, though. Lino did a good job showing that this morning on how to do that. So, we're gonna see if Megan can do it. Alright. So, that's looking pretty coarse there. So, she said make a hole in the middle. I'm going to add a half a cup of hot water. We're going to mix until a soft dough forms. Now, look at that. Alright, so I've got a nice ball of dough here. Maybe it's not too dry. Maybe not. See what I can do with this. Now, she said, roll these out as flat as you can get them. see how that does. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
I got it drove down. One thing I did notice though is with the old hydrant, this T-post, the hydrant was sitting up in the T-post, and it seems that, I don't know why, but it seems that this hydrant's pulled farther this way, which ain't gonna cause a problem. It's just something I noticed. Apparently something's bigger right here because that clamp don't reach. Huh. Yeah, so something is different. I don't know what it is. But that clamp's not going to reach. I may have to find something else. And that T-post is just there for stability reasons. Because that's only, I told y'all earlier, it was about 1.5 feet in the ground. I mean, it was about 2 foot in the ground. But I'll be honest with you, I don't believe that water line ain't but about 1.5 feet in the ground. So, let's see if I can straighten this out enough that it'll hold it. Yeah, so this is going to work. If that clamp will ever take, there we go. I was going to say, if it'll ever take hold, it'll go.
All right, we're looking good.
Let's go get us some gravel. Then we can fill it all back in and call this done. The other day I had quite a bit of gravel left over on my truck from a small job I had done, and I dumped it off right down here in front of this barn. And it's still really loose, and it'll be pretty easy to dig some back up. I put it in this spot right here because this was a pretty bad muddy spot. So I just put it here, trying to cover up that mud. But like in areas like that, it's really thick, so it should be easy for me to fill that 5-gallon bucket. I think that's enough. I want to check before I pour this gravel around, make sure I don't have any leaks. I mean, it's really wet right there, but I think that's just from the water that drained back out. Of course, it wouldn't hurt to just try and tighten this clamp just to see. It's running back down out of here. I need to adjust that plunger. What I need to do is open it up just a little, like that. Okay. Then we loosen this. No, that ain't gonna work either. Yeah, here we go. Let's do it like that. That should have it. And just for safe measures, so what I should have done was loosen this first, pick up on the handle like that, then we'll tighten that back down. Now that should have it sealed off down there. Alright, I'm going to keep it, I'm not going to pour that gravel in there yet. I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes, let everything drain, and then we'll check that weep hole. check this weep hole. Oh no. Is it still leaking? Well, that ain't good. It's still dripping out down there. Like, I mean, just a tiny, tiny trickle. Not much at all, but it's enough to make it just a little bit wet. I think it is anyways. Maybe it's not. Now I got that wipe dry, and it ain't nothing getting wet. Well, I believe it fixed it. That's not getting wet now. Okay, well, I guess that adjustment did fix it, because that's not draining no more. I thought it was, but it must have just been water that was left over. That's it. Good deal. So now we pour our rock around it. Like I said, that rock just allows the drainage around that weep hole down there. If it had dirt or clay or anything else packed up against it, it would plug up that hole and it wouldn't drain like it's supposed to. Where now, with that rock, it will.
All right, y'all, look here. Y'all tell me how I did. I am so tickled. These are probably the best ones I've made yet. They look so good. So, and their texture is great. That is going to be good. All right, I need to get out the stuff to put on the tacos, which is hot sauce. If you missed how I make my hot sauce, y'all, I think me and Andy have already eaten like 3 pints of hot sauce since y'all saw me make that. Best stuff ever. Will go on my forever list right along with my chow chow and cheese. So let me go holler for him and see if he's ready to eat.
Well, it's actually pretty firm there too. I like that. I like that a lot. Beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at that. No drip. No nothing. Uh-oh. Did I speak too soon? Please don't drip on me. Was that just the last remaining water droplet in there, I hope? You're not going to drip, are you? Okay. I take that as a no. But yeah, that thing's pretty sturdy. It's actually a lot more sturdy than the old one I had, so hopefully with it being shorter, that helps. Well, I'm glad that's done. I don't know why I was dreading it. It really wasn't that bad of a job. I think things like that, though, are important to know how to do, even though it's super simple. Like, that was an extremely simple job to do. But the thing is, had you had to call somebody to do that, a repairman or whatever, who knows what they would have charged. And nothing against them, because they got to make a living. I'm just saying that it's nice to know how to do the small things like that, so you can do it yourself instead of having to call somebody and take care of it for you. But it'll be really interesting to see how well that one holds up. You know, there may be a video here in another year, me digging it back out and replacing it again, and if that's the case, I will go buy a good one from a local store. But honestly, just looking at it, That one looks just as good as any I've ever bought anywhere. Matter of fact, there's some things that look a little bit better. Ain't they cute? I'll make a good sized taco.
Maybe. I got the hot sauce. And that's pork.
I'm excited about this.
You never go wrong with tacos, can you?
Shoot, no.
I want a big one. I got two little ones. I think a big one too. You have to try them on the video though. You gotta tell people if I did any count or not.
Oh, Lord.
I know.
They might not want to know what I think. Let's see how it goes. Those are better than those store-bought tortillas you've been buying.
Well, I hope so.
Well, I mean, in comparison, they're a lot better. That's good.
Well, good. They made a good taco then.
Yeah.
Satisfactory, anyway.
Well, maybe the weatherman wasn't wrong. Because now it's snowing.
I told you yesterday is just a feel in the air.
Look at it. I mean, it's coming down pretty good. But it's not sticking. The ground is definitely too warm for it to be
Yeah, I don't think it'll amount to anything, but it's pretty falling anyway.
It is. It surprised me, though, because the weatherman said it was going to snow this morning, not this evening. But either way, we're going to go out here and spend most of what's left of the day inside the pack house, continuing to organize, clean up, and all that good stuff. It's a chore. And the reason this is taking so long is because I'm literally going through every little thing, organizing, seeing what can be thrown away, what can't be thrown away, what I want to hang on to, what I'm not going to hang on to. You get the idea.
This is phase 2 of the pack house clean out. We did the major one when we had the dumpster here, and we just set everything to the side. Stuff we were like, well, we don't know if we're going to want to keep it. This is like the maybe pile. This is the yes pile. And we made piles. Well, now I'm going through the piles.
Yeah, and that's been a year ago.
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago, maybe.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
It's been a hot minute. It might have been 2 years ago.
I think it was.
I think it was too.
I feel like we've went through several cleanup stages on this building, but this time, it's getting done. I'm tired of just piddling with it. We're getting it done this time.
Well, the thing is, when we started, though, this is as far as you could go.
What, into the door?
You could walk right here. And then it was just...
You're right.
Stuff. I mean, and just from years of build-up, you know, not only from us, but your papa lived here his whole life, and just stuff over time just built up, so...
Yep.
Come in out of the blizzard.
Too bad it's no warmer in here than it is outside.
I know.
But I know y'all probably can't tell it. But look at this. From right around here, yeah, it's still pretty junky. But you can walk all around through here. And that is a major step towards what I'm after.
Yep.
But now, there's a lot of stuff right here that's not going anywhere until all that back there gets taken care of. Just simply because this is stuff that's getting kept. That back there is stuff that I'm not even 100% sure what all's going to happen with it. Well, I got these bottles of RV antifreeze right here that I need to open that box up and put them over there in that cabinet. I got to go through all these plow bolts because I'm going to organize that, and that's going in that my bolt bin over there.
I love this table. I wish I had somewhere to put it. Oh,
yeah, this
you know
is
what?
the Hitler table.
We could put this. We could put the varnish over it and put it in our building down there.
That's an excellent idea. Yeah, if any
that
of y'all...
could be our table that we've been looking for.
That's exactly right. So, going back to the rewinding to the building clean out video that we did on this place, this table right here is the table that had a newspaper stuck to it that mentioned Hitler.
Yeah, it was like from the 1940s what is that, 60s?
I don't even know. Long time ago.
Yeah.
In the news article, Hitler was still alive, right?
Yeah, it was talking about he had done something.
Yeah, we'd have to go back and read it, but it's all still there. It's stuck. The paper is stuck to this table.
Yep, that can be our table for what we need down there.
That would work perfect. I hadn't even thought about that.
What would you put on it? A clear coat?
Yeah, you can probably get like an epoxy.
Honey, the snowflakes are getting bigger.
Yeah. I mean, it's coming down. I'll have to say that. But I don't see a bit of it sticking to anything. It's not even sticking to the tabletop right there on the picnic table.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been warm, so.
Yeah.
It's been a warm morning.
I think it's colder now than it was this morning, but it's definitely still.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
All right, so you want me to put this over in that cabinet? I can do that.
If there's room in that cabinet. Is there room in the bottom? It may be too full.
I got room for like one jug.
All right.
That's it.
Well, I'll set the rest over here until I make room somewhere else.
Okay. Is this what you put in the camper? Is that what that is for?
Yeah. Camper, and it goes in my sprayers and
Oh, okay.
all kinds of stuff. If you use that RV antifreeze in there, then you don't have to, like, you drain all the water out and then pump that through it. And so if there's any water left in it, it won't freeze.
Oh, okay.
I use so much of it, I keep it on hand all the time.
We can use that to put stuff in.
You can put trash in it.
Or trash.
Jars. You can put that back there with them other jars.
Yeah.
That's your,
Somebody's seeing if the road's slick.
yeah, that's your mess there.
I know.
Ended up out here in my building.
Bless it. Just like your tractors ended up in my horse barn.
Yeah, I guess I can't complain too much, can I?
Nope. Them cows hear you out here.
I hear them just a lowing at me.
Is there anything in this? It don't feel like it.
You have to check. Is it empty?
Yeah.
If it's empty, just stack it up. You can take those and that black one right there and stack them up back there out of the way for right now, and then eventually I may need them to put some stuff in.
Okay. I'll put them on top of that desk. Is that would that work?
All right.
What is that?
Wiring.
What are you going to do with that?
Forgot I had it. That may come in handy down here at the building. I'm going to set that with the stuff right here.
Okay. But anyways, guys, I guess y'all know what we're going to be doing the rest of the evening.
Yeah, I think we're going to get serious with it and really hammer down in here this evening and see how far we can get.
Yep.
Definitely not going to get finished.
No.
But I think we're going to get a good chunk.
Yeah,
done.
we'll make a good dent in it anyway.
I think so.
But anyways, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Hope you might have learned a little something. Until we see y'all in the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.
These bags of, this is rye. That's been sitting there for 2 years. I wonder wonder if it's still any good.
I don't know. Why has it been in here?
I was aimed to plant it, and it was one of them times when the weather got bad and I never was able to get it planted. I bet you $1 the weevils has got in it now.
Oh, I bet so, after that long.
Yep, right there's a hole in the bag. We'll open that up and check it, and
they're definitely in there.
If it's eat up, we'll just give it to the chickens.
Okay, they'll like that.